Welcome to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and we've got some women's gymnastics on the ACC network. North Carolina Tar Heels, number 23 in the country. They play host to the Clemson Tigers, number 24 in the country. It looks like we have got a fantastic matchup here in the ACC. Welcome, everyone. I am John Roethlisberger, and I'm joined by the GOAT. This is an honor for me because I get to work with Trinity Thomas, one of the greatest collegiate gymnasts ever. Trinity, this is a great one we've got lined up here tonight, number 23 versus number 24.
Yes, like you said, number 23 and 24, that's a great matchup, perfect matchup. Those teams are going to go out there, and they're going to be evenly.
It feels like this one's going to come right down to the last routine before it is decided. Well, let's start with the University of North Carolina. Who's somebody we should look out for?
Yes, we should look out for Jessica Naranjo. She was named to the All-ACC Championship team on beam in 2024 as a freshman. She's aggressive and competitive. She's clean and powerful, and she's a consistent leadoff for them. She's worked diligently right here for these landings like this, building her consistency throughout the season. And then over on the Clemson side, Bree Clark is a phenomenal gymnast on floor. She was named to the All-ACC team on floor in 2024. She has 6 wins on this event, and Bree's already made a huge impact this year, earning a season high 9.925 on floor just last weekend.
So a couple of teams that are kind of looking for those little things to improve, to take that next step forward. Those two athletes certainly are ones that could make a big difference. Amy Smith, she is the head coach of the Clemson Tigers in her second season. There's only been 2 seasons of Clemson gymnastics, and she has been at the helm of certainly a program to look out for as they look to climb quickly in the standings. Danny Durante, the head coach in her 4th season at North Carolina, has done a nice job here as well. Both of these teams have had good seasons, but both of these teams, Trinity, looking to kind of take that next step forward. We heard a lot about turning 9.7s into 9.8s and getting some of those 9.8s to 9.9s. Important for these two teams.
Yes, they're going to be wanting to pay attention to the little things, the small details, tight gymnastics, and great landings.
The details in women's gymnastics, so important because everyone does good gymnastics, but it's making it refined and perfect that is really going to be the key if you want to take that next step forward, get from the top 25 into the top 20. Nev King will start things off for North Carolina on vault. The home team gets to start on vault. They go the Olympic order. The visiting team, the Clemson Tigers, they start on the uneven bars.
Nev is very clean and consistent on this event. That's why she's in the leadoff spot. Yurchenko full with hop backwards. Great leadoff.
And we talked with head coach Danny Durante earlier today, and one thing she brought up is landings, in particular on vault and bars, can be a huge difference maker for them. That vault landing, unfortunately, a big hop on that. So keep an eye on that. Something that can make the difference, certainly, between these two teams today. Here's Lily Lippett, outstanding former elite gymnast. Leads off on 3 events. Here she is on bars.
Beautiful release right down to the low bar. Like you said, John, Lily is incredible on this event. Her line's just the dismount left. Just looking for a good landing. Stuck. What a leadoff routine.
Got a few Clemson fans that made the trip up to Chapel Hill. Great start for the Clemson Tigers.
Let's take another look at this dismount here. Nice height above the high bar. Great landing, chest up. Exactly what she's looking for.
You can see the scoring tower on the right hand of your screen. Really a great asset to those watching at home. Each lineup for each of these teams on their respective events are there. As the scores come in, they will populate. As you can see, Nev King led off with a 9.7. Here is Julia Noer now in the 2 spot.
Wow, that was a big Yurchenko full.
She gets a nod. She liked it.
She liked that.
You like that?
That was
she
good.
Liked that.
Big vault. Look at the amplitude off the table here. Very nice.
And I'm
just a hop back.
Yeah, I'm going to nitpick though. Big vault, saw the landing coming. You got to stick that one, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Dakota Berry's the second gymnast for the Tigers. As we wait for that Lippett score to come in. expected to be higher than the leadoff score for North Carolina. There it is, a 9.85. Tremendous score for a gymnast first up.
Yes, it is.
Dakota Berry, sophomore out of Newport Beach, California.
Nice handstand, beautiful lines. Maloney up to the high bar, some feet separation there. Now we can see a lot more from this angle. The judges cannot see as well.
Yeah, you can see the judge over on the side of the bars at that table.
Big double layout. Hop backwards. Other than that, great routine.
Bree Clark fan in the crowd liked it.
Watch the height on this dismount. Above the high bar.
It'll be interesting to see what the judges do, because you mentioned those form breaks. You can't really see it from the side, but there was a number of them. If they catch them all, it could be a lower score. Isabel Schaefer now follows a 9.75 from nowhere. So scores building, that's what you like to see in women's gymnastics.
Another Yurchenko full, better landing.
Yurchenko full starts from a 9.95. So in theory, done perfectly. The best score isn't a 10 on this vault, it's a 9.95.
Yes, and that's why it's extra important to get that landing at the end.
See a lot of those Yurchenko vaults where they do the round off onto the board, back handspring onto the table. Very, very common vault in women's gymnastics. We also see some of those with the 1.5 twist, which we'll certainly see today. Eve Jackson now next up. She's been battling a little bit of illness this week, we were told by head coach Amy Smith before the competition, but good enough to go. You ever competed sick, Trinity?
I absolutely have.
Did it help your nerves, or did it make you more nervous?
Honestly, it makes you focus on something else. So it takes your mind off of the gymnastics, and for me, that actually helps.
You got this, Eve, let's go!
9.8 for Dakota Berry. So a couple of scores in the 9.8s for Clemson.
You got it! Come on, Eve!
Just gonna do a blind Jaeger. Very nice, right down to the low bar with the shoot over to horizontal. Got that cast there. Those cast handstands are super important. Full twisting double back, hop on the landing. Not too bad for being sick.
Said this was going to be her Jordan flu game, but I think she got Jordan mixed up with Magic, if I remember the story correctly.
Yes, that is what was said. Nice full twisting, double back, hop on the landing. Sure, she's happy with that.
North Carolina on vault. Every score has gotten higher. 9.775 for Schaefer. 3 vaults to go. Anna Durante, the coach, really wants to see higher than 9.7s. Here's Lali Dekanoidze.
Wow, big Yurchenko full. That form was impeccable. Her legs didn't come apart at all.
We have an ACC Network men's basketball doubleheader Wednesday featuring number 2 Duke in the nightcap. It starts with Stanford and Georgia Tech at 7 Eastern. Then Cooper Flagg and the Blue Devils look to bounce back from that loss to Clemson against the Cal Bears at Cameron Indoor. Eve Jackson, a 9.825. This is Lauren Rutherford now, senior from Roswell, Georgia. Didn't have her in the original lineup that I saw, but they made a number of changes after the one touch, and Lauren's in on this bar rotation.
Nice release. These cast handstands are great. Just the dismount. Nice double layout. We saw some leg separation there. Again, judges don't see it as much from the side.
A little quick on that landing, Trinity. I kind of want to know your opinion. You got to hold it now, a full second. That
Yes.
one a little quick. If you don't, it's an extra half-tenth deduction.
Yes, and she may get that taken on that.
Here's
Let's
another
watch
look.
it again.
Yep. She's got the step
She
and the
should
hold.
Yeah, a little off balance. We'll see what the judges do with that.
Trinity Thomas just took a deduction on that, I'm just going to say. A 9-8 for Decanoids, so the first score of a 9-8 or higher for North Carolina. Every score has increased. Now here's JoJo Valahovic, sensational freshman.
She's going to be competing at 1.5. Big step forward. I did see her do a really good one in warm-up, but that was great in the air. That was a 10-0 start value vault.
The question is this step big enough to take more than a 10th?
I would have to go with yes on this one.
And that is the risk with those more difficult vaults, the 1.5 twists. I think I saw Trinity, I don't know if you ever stepped on yours. I think you stuck every one in your career. You did one of the best in the world. But it's so hard if you don't land clean. The judges this year especially seem to really be hitting that deduction.
Yes, absolutely. And it takes a lot of practice. And I took a lot of steps before I started sticking, and she's just a freshman, so she will get there.
Here's Quinn Cool. This is a fun gymnast. One of the tallest gymnasts you're going to see, allegedly 5'8". She does some big gymnastics.
Huge release. I love these handstands. Big double out. Close to stuck landing.
They call her Quinn Credible, also Quinny, in case you're wondering, and she is such a great personality. Amy Smith, head coach, talks about how just a joy she is in the gym and just really found herself here in her sophomore season. A rough freshman season, but really trained hard over the summer and big time asset for this Clemson Tiger team. Valahovic, just a 9-7. That equals their lowest score, so that landing really tough. Kaya Forbes now in the anchor spot.
Big vault from Kaya.
Beautiful.
She is capable of doing a 1.5, but they changed it back to a full to have more consistency with that landing like we were talking
and
about.
because they're not getting the reward for those 1.5s if you take a step, and this is beautiful.
Nice in the air. Hips are nice and open coming down to the landing. Just that hop.
The right side of your screen, you can see the lighter shaded score in that scoring tower. For UNC, Nev King's score at the top, that 9-7. That is the score they drop. In women's gymnastics, you count 5 of the 6 scores. If you have a mistake, you can drop that score. You got to count the top 5, though. Don't have more than 1 mistake. And here's Hannah Clark trying to cap off what's been an outstanding rotation for the Tigers here on bars.
Line tight, Jaeger, straight down to the low bar. Nice. That was a big double out. She had almost both flips above the high bar.
Already a season high score for the Clemson Tigers on bars. Trying to make it a little bit better with that Hannah Clark exclamation point at the end.
Let's take a look at this handstand. Nice, above the bar. Look at this height, wow.
We call that a scooch in the business.
A scooch.
And it's not a hop, not
nope.
a step, that's a scooch.
Just a little scooch, maybe a half a tenth or so.
Eric Thomas, the associate head coach there on the left hand of your screen, holding court with his team. There's Amy Smith, the head coach. Got to be happy with that. Season high is always a good sign. Kaya Forbes, a 9.825, the highest score of the rotation for North Carolina, so they needed that one. They are going to have to count a 9.7, however. So it's a 4/10 lead for the Clemson Tigers after rotation 1 over the home team. When we come back, we're going to celebrate National Women in Sports Day.
To have such strong female role models and to inspire the next generation is a big deal.
It's so important to remember that there's little kids looking up to me, and that pushes me every day whenever I don't have it within myself to keep pushing.
As a little girl, watching Lamentia Hall really inspired me. So it's really cool to be in the position now, can inspire other little black girls.
My older sister, Marquetta Frazier, she is my role model. She's the reason I am where I am today.
My older sister, who was a soccer player at University of Washington, she is one of the hardest workers that I know.
Biggest inspiration for me was my mom. She faced a lot of adversity in her life, but there was no thing that was going to keep her from getting where she wanted to go.
We have great role models here. Kim and Emily are such incredible role models, and they're people I look up to.
We're very lucky here at Pitt to have an all-female coaching staff, so we have 4 really strong female leaders. Every single one of them has helped athletes grow as people, not just athletes within their sport.
That day actually means a lot to me as a women's coach. I have been extremely lucky to be surrounded by such strong women my entire life, and I am sitting in this chair because of them.
Great to see these strong women to look up to in our sport. Trinity, did you have somebody like that in your life?
Yes, my mom is an inspiration to me. I think a lot of times people talk about the athletes and how hard it is to be an athlete, but the moms are superheroes, and she is my superhero. She had confidence in me when I didn't have confidence in myself.
And you know why the moms, especially in gymnastics, are superheroes? They have to watch you do beam.
I know, literally.
You don't realize doing beam's hard, but having to watch someone you love do beam is equally hard, as we see some of the future gymnasts, maybe some future Tar Heels and Tigers in the crowd as well. 4-10th lead for the visiting Tigers as they head to their next event. Madison Minner and Clemson, they go to vault. Lolly Decanoiza, one of the best in the country, takes her team to the uneven bars. Welcome back to Chapel Hill, Carmichael Arena. We've got women's gymnastics, North Carolina Clemson. Right now, it's the visiting Clemson Tigers with a 4-10th lead. That is not something you can't overcome in women's gymnastics, but it's starting to get to that sizable point. If you're the home team, you do not want to let it get away from you. Here's Quinn Cool now leading things off, sophomore. Got thrown into this lineup in the first meet of the season. Halfway through the vault competition she was put in, she said, I got this, and ever since she's been a big contributor.
Yurchenko full, hop backwards. Getting called up on any event is not easy.
How about in the middle of a rotation in competition? That is...
And it happens so fast. Everything happens so quickly, so...
Here is
she's awesome.
Julia Noer. We'll see what happens in these bar routines. I felt like in that last rotation, bars was judged a little more leniently than vault. Let's see if that continues consistently here.
Kinger, a little leg separation there. All right. Shoot over to handstand, fought for the handstand. Just the dismount left. See this amplitude here. Full twisting double back. So small slide with the foot on the landing. Great routine.
Julia Noer, the only gymnast today competing all 4 events, competing the all-around. Tara Walsh now the next gymnast to go here on vault. 9-7 for Quinn Cool. Same start score that we saw in the UNC vault rotation as well. Should see a few more 10-0 start values from this vault rotation, though, than we saw from the Tar Heels.
Like that one right there. That's Yurchenko 1.5. She did take a step back, so that will be an additional deduction. Just a little, not quite enough amplitude, so she had to take that step back.
And that is what we call an under rotation. Any skill you do that under rotates usually indicates to the judges, hey, I'm going to take a little extra off on that one. Some words from Amy Smith. Nev King now prepares to go on the uneven bars. On on this UNC team with her twin sister, Allie. Julia Noah, a 9.875 in the leadoff spot, and that was a tremendous start score.
Maloney up to the high bar. Cat salto down to the low bar. A little bit of feet separation with both of those skills. Stalled her. Double back. Almost got it. Small hop on the landing. Let's see this Maloney. You can see the leg separation a little bit.
And to that point, this is the judge's perspective right there.
Yes.
Much harder to see though than that camera angle we had.
A little bit of knees in that tap over the low bar. Those are the little things that the judges are looking at for deductions.
We also get the slow-mo on that dismount, which the judges see it in real time. Madison Minner, great story. Trained at her club for an extra year nearby Clemson, and because she knew they're starting this program and she wanted to be a part of it, and she has been a fantastic contributor for this Tiger team.
Wow. Yurchenko tucked 1.5, and she gets that stick. I know she's happy about that one.
Absolutely. And she was holding it. If you had toes on your heels, her toes were digging into the mat.
And I love to see a held stuck landing. I like to say milk it for the judges. Don't give them anything to take.
Fantastic.
Love that. Very good.
Got to be thrilled with that. Discovered by associate head coach Eric Lewis. Went in to see her in her gym and thought, you know what? I think I could teach her a 10-0 vault. Says she's one of the hardest workers you will ever see, and certainly that hard work paid off with that vault, because they had a pair of 9.7s. They're going to have to count one of them. You can see their first two scores from Kuhl and Walsh, and Madison Minner 9.85. So big jump up in the score with 3 to go for Clemson. They need that because UNC has started strong here. Nev King, a 9.825 for that bar team. Forbes now. Next to go. Saw her anchor that vault rotation.
She's worked hard over the fall to earn a spot in this UNC bar lineup, and she's done it. Dana said she makes everything look so easy.
Her vault absolutely just floated. Looked very easy. Let's see if she can float here on the uneven bars as well.
Another Maloney. Straight down to the low bar. Nice handstand. Full twisting double back, just a step in the right direction. That was a clean bar routine. See the height here. Full twisting double back. It's a little over rotated.
Eve Jackson now on vault. Couple of 9.7s, 9.85. Remember, counting the top 5 scores of those scores that populate in the score tower to the right hand of your screen.
Yurchenko 1.5. You see those lines on the mat? She is outside of those lines, so the judges can see that the direction is off there.
And it's not an exact, you're over the line, it's a deduction, but it's an impression, and if they are not impressed enough, they will take a deduction. What an ACC Network women's basketball triple header we have for you Thursday night. Isaiah James and number 14 NC State host Miami at 6 Eastern. Then Hannah Hidalgo and number 3 Notre Dame take on Pitt, and the night is capped off by Syracuse and Stanford at Maples Pavilion. So Kaya Forbes, a 9.8, currently the lowest score of this bar rotation, but still a great number as Gwen Fink takes to the bars.
Nice straddle Jaeger. Shoot over to handstand. A little short on that last cast. Big double layout. Just a small scooch back, like we're talking about, John.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. The actual numbers that these gymnasts are getting on bars for both teams seem higher than I thought they would be. But in gymnastics, the scoring, more importantly, needs to be consistent between teams, and it seems like it is.
Yes. I feel like the scoring between the two teams on bars has been very consistent. But a little higher, like you said, than maybe we expected.
I mean, if you're putting it in football terms, you want to make sure each judge is getting holding calls the same way, right? You don't want one to be judged differently than the other, and I think that consistency right now is the most important thing.
Wow, big front pike half out. That's a different vault. We haven't seen that vault yet today.
And that was Maggie Holman in the 5 spot, following Eve Jackson's 9.725, so 3 scores in the 9.7s for Clemson here in vault.
Front entrance. She kind of missed the block a little bit on there, but she was able to get it to her feet just fine.
$10.00 start value vault. Again, for Clemson, we'll see if they get rewarded. Gwen Fink, a 9.825. Isabel Schaefer now in the 5 spot. Senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and Everest Gymnastics, outstanding club, produced many collegiate gymnasts.
She was ACC runner-up on this event last year. Big Jaeger. Look at how tight her legs were throughout that entire shoot over.
If they can get a stuck landing, I think we might have their first 9.9 in this bar rotation. Got to stick it, though.
Let's see. Oh, that was a gorgeous routine. Great form throughout the entire routine. Look at the height on that Jaeger. And here, feet are perfectly together. Big dismount, full twisting double tuck. Just a step backwards on the landing. Very nice routine.
One of the cleanest ones that we've seen, I think, so far in this competition as they wait for their star on that event. Lolly Decanoidze will anchor that rotation for the Tar Heels. Kate Bryant, the sophomore from Littleton, Colorado here, anchoring this vault rotation for Clemson. Some low scores, those scores in 9.7s, not what you want in women's gymnastics.
Just a tiny step forward. Solid full to end the rotation.
North Carolina is going to absolutely close that 4/10 gap that the Tigers had after the first rotation. Question is, are they going to close it all the way and take the lead? We will see, and if anybody has a shot to make that jump for their team, it's Lolly Decanoidze, number 5 in the country on this event. She's won 18 individual titles. She's got the highest score on this event in program history with a 9.975. Wants that 10 though, I bet, Trinity.
Absolutely. She was ACC champion on this event last year. She's the first team All-American in 2023.
Schaefer, a 9.85. That set Lolly up for a big number here if she can knock this out of the park.
And I haven't seen a single form break yet. Her legs are glued together. Beautiful bar swinger. Big dismount. Oh!
Oh, that dismount. Oh, she wanted that landing too.
Yes, she did. I mean, that bar routine was gorgeous.
You've been in that spot, so you did a perfect routine. You're floating your double layout, which you did, and you want to stick it so bad. What are you thinking at that moment?
Yes, sometimes you just got to be patient. You got to wait for the ground. The ground's going to come to you. Watch it and sink in for that landing.
North Carolina is going to have the lead, ladies and gentlemen. The question is by how much? Kate Bryant ended the vault rotation for Clemson with a 9.75. I think Head coach Amy Smith is going to be a little disappointed with the number that Clemson got on vault. Certainly wanted some more stuck landings. There is Amy Smith. Came over from Utah State, where she did an outstanding job. A lot of gymnasts followed her from Utah State over to Clemson. Really felt strongly about her ability to lead a team, and they wanted to stick with her, and they did. Lolly Decanoid's a 9.825. Oh, that stuck landing's gonna haunt her until next week. But there you go, North Carolina with a half-tenth lead. We have got a fantastic one going on here in Chapel Hill. When we come back, we're gonna talk Black history always.
Black people have influenced every aspect of American life. Don't believe me? Just take a look at what's happening in gymnastics. For the first time ever, Black gymnasts took home the gold, silver, and bronze medals in the women's all-around competition at the 2023 World Championships. And at the college level, current and former athletes like Trinity Thomas, MJ Frazier, Nia Smith, Jordan Childs, and the queen of the floor, Darion Goborn, infused the sport with style and swag. Simone Biles is the GOAT, but judging by the talented Black women in the sport today, gymnastics is in good hands.
Trinity, I don't think representation can be overstated. I think no matter what your background or where you're from, it's so important. I think for Black gymnasts, you've seen it in the last few years, and how has it impacted you growing up?
Yes, when I was little, there were not this many Black gymnasts, and to look around now and see so many at every level of the sport is just simply incredible, and I feel for those younger girls because sometimes you truly are the sign that someone needs to believe that they can do it too.
Well, I think it's safe to say you were that person for a lot of young girls, and we'll see the rewards of that in the years to come, I'm sure. Look at this resume. We had to give her a whole slate because it would have just covered up all of us here on camera, but one of the best gymnasts, I'm just gonna say, if you're not having a conversation about the best gymnast ever in collegiate gymnastics and having Trinity be part of that conversation, you need to switch the channel back to like cornhole or basketball or something, because Trinity, outstanding career, so much fun to watch you, and it's an honor for me to kind of get to do this with you. Only your second time in broadcast is pretty special.
Yes, thank you so much. I mean, I am so blessed to have had the career that I had, and now to take a different turn in the gymnastics world, I'm excited.
Yeah, well, you're doing a great job. Happy to be here with you as we look at the North Carolina Tar Heels that have taken a half-tenth lead over the visiting Tigers. Jessica Naranjo, she goes to balance beam with her team. Over to the floor exercise goes Clemson and Bree Clark. We're done on camera, right? Getting warm. We are halfway through the competition here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. They trailed by 4/10 after the first rotation, and the home team had to kind of wonder, uh-oh, is this one going to get away from us? But not so fast. They turn the tables on that second rotation, and they get the lead, a half-tenth lead now for the home team. But now they go to beam. Trinity, I always say the meet doesn't start till you get to beam, because anything can happen on this event.
Yes, I like to say that being great at beam is what wins championship meets, truly. Beam is a super temperamental event, and little mistakes can take you right off.
Well, whether or not it can help you win, and I can tell you right now, bad on beam is not going to help you win at all.
Absolutely not.
It is the most unforgiving event, as we see Jessica Naranjo now leading things off for the Tar Heels, an important spot in the lineup, maybe the most important.
Yes, especially on an event like beam. Really sets the tone for everyone else in the lineup. Front aerial to layout step out. That is a hard connection. Two skills, no hands connected together.
We asked the head coach, Anna Durante, about her leading this event off. Just a sophomore, and it is a pressure-packed lineup spot. She said she's just really meticulous and really consistent, and if you're going to pick a characteristic of somebody starting on beam, you want those things.
Absolutely you do. She's clean and powerful as well. Wow, what a lead-off routine. I don't know if you can do it much better than that, John.
I think she would tell you the exact same thing. I'm not sure where she would improve if she had to choose, this was fantastic.
Look at her form, too. Wow.
Boom.
There's no question about that stuck landing.
Lily Lippett, now we saw her start off the rotation on uneven bars for Clemson. Here she is starting off on floor exercise as well.
Double back. You are allowed to lunge. That is no deduction. Now, how big the lunge and how controlled it is determines what the judges will decide to take. Nice 180 leaps. One and a half to front full. Great routine for Clemson. Lily is a leadoff for 3 events, and she just showed you why. Super solid here, double tuck. And that round off 1.5, front full. A little quick on that landing, she held it together.
Hoping for a big score if you're a Tiger fan for Lippett, because Naranjo, a 9.875 in the leadoff spot. That is a score lately that we have seen from the gymnast later in the lineup, so that is a big start for them. Now freshman Jojo Balahovic in the 2 spot.
Beautiful and floaty, that back handspring layout step out.
If you're looking for adjectives that are good in gymnastics, floaty, I think, would definitely be near the top.
Yes,
you did
is.
a lot of floaty gymnastics from what I remember.
I tried. She's so graceful on this event. Round off 1.5, fights for that stuck landing.
2 dismounts, 2 stuck landings for North Carolina in this beam rotation.
Look at how floaty that layout step out is. It's so high. Simply beautiful. Fought for that landing, love that. It's very important to fight for every single skill, every landing. It's what it comes down to in the end.
Maggie Holman, we saw her on that vault rotation. Here she is in floor as well, following that Lippett 9.825. 2 great start scores for both of these teams here in the 3rd rotation.
Front handspring, front double full. A little bit too much power there. It was a beautiful double full in the air. Love to see her teammates doing the routine with her. That's always the most fun part. Everyone in the crowd clapping along. So fun.
I think we've got some of the hometown crowd clapping for.
Beautiful front handspring. 1.5 to a layout step out. Nice routine. We're gonna take another look at that last pass there. Front handspring, 1.5 twist, right into a layout step out. Very difficult. She makes it look easy though.
Love that sequence. Here is Nev King, 2 very good scores. Valahovic, a 9.85. That is the mount that every time I just kind of hold my breath.
I have never tried that mount, and I
are happy you never did. You probably can still do gymnastics. It's not too late, Trinity.
You know, you never know.
You're good. You're good without that mount.
Without that mount, I'm good. Back handspring layout step out. Switch leap. Split 3/4. Woo. Sometimes the dance can get a little tricky. Gotta stay calm up there the entire time. It's easy to get ahead of yourself sometimes though. Round off 1.5. She was just a little excited there.
Take another look at that mount.
This is a difficult mount. It's blind. Super impressive.
Really had to kind of work to pull that in too. Looked a little far away from the beam when she grabbed it. Actually went over the beam in the one touch, so maybe over adjusted just a little bit, but made it happen. Madison Minner, she stuck that Yuchenko 1.5 in that first rotation. Big heavy metal fan. Here she is on floor exercise.
Front handspring, front double full. Nice control there. Well, that was fun. Another front handspring to 1.5 layout step out. Nice routine.
That was fun. You don't see a lot of heavy metal
Look at this leap
music.
pass. So interesting. I like that. Might try that when I get home.
Can you post that for us if you do?
Yeah, I can. It probably won't look that good. Nice last pass as well.
So Clemson, a pair of 9.825s to get things rolling on floor exercise. And Minner feels like it's going to be right in that range or higher. Over on beam, 2 great scores to start. That Nev King score, though, a 9.725. That is a lighter shaded score. That is the one they're hoping to drop. Here is Glenn Fink now.
Switch leap, switch leap. That leap's harder than it looks. You land on one leg and then you go right back up onto the next switch leap. She's gonna do a triple series here. Back handspring, layout, step out, layout, step out. Perfectly done. Full turn, requirement for everyone. Handspring, gainer full, gets that landing. Great routine for UNC.
Great rotation so far for North Carolina on the balance beam. The softball season's rolling in as well. A lot of softball fans out there. The Shriners Children's Clearwater Invitational coming up, and ACC Network is the home for these 4 games, starting with Kentucky and Virginia Thursday afternoon at 2 Eastern time. Our final matchup will be Sunday morning with UCLA and Virginia. Spring sports, man, comes quick. Here is Molly Arnold. Madison Minner, a 9-8 for her routine. 3 scores in the 9-8s for Clemson so far. 3 to go.
Round up handspring, double back. Too much power. She did take a step out of bounds.
That's going to be a 1/10 of a point for going over that line. Plus, if that was an uncontrolled step, which it looked like, that's also going to be a deduction. So we call that a double whammy.
Punch front. Solid routine. I know that step out of bounds is a big deduction, but this 2.5 punch front, that's a tough pass, especially doing it second.
And that combo right kind of near the edge too. If you're taking off on your angles a little off, you can be out of bounds on that as well, but she handled it quite well. Gwen Fink, a 9.9. That is a career high for score for her. 2 career high scores in this rotation. Valahovic, that 9.85 is a career high as well. Here is Julia Noer. Now a chance for North Carolina with that out of bounds on floor exercise. Can they extend that lead? It was a 0.5 coming into this 3rd rotation.
Another floaty back handspring layout step out.
Anna Durante talked about how she thought bars was going to be their best event this year, but they got into the season, all of a sudden, look out, here comes balance beam, and she thinks this might now be their team's best event, and so far tonight, looks accurate.
They look great on beam. They look so calm, and everything is very clean. Toss, just a little bit off, but she covered it up very nicely.
The fine art of having a graceful step out of what could be a deduction, right, is a big part of beam.
If you're going to have a deduction, try to minimize it as much as possible. That's exactly what she did. Round off 1.5 dismount, slight hop forward. Great routine. Another great back handspring layout step out here. Front toss, see how she's a little off, but she continues to work through it.
Savvy.
Very.
Bree Clark getting ready to go on floor exercise. Somebody super fun to watch, and she's really going to have to deliver here because Molly Arnold with that out of bounds, a 9.675. So they still have 3 good scores. Remember, if you can drop the low, they absolutely want to drop that 9.675 from Arnold, but going to need 2 big routines here from Clark and Jackson to make that happen.
Yes, they do, and Bree Clark can do it. Big double layout here. A little bit too much sauce. It almost looks like maybe she can do something else, John. And actually, she can. She works the biles. She is the only gymnast to attempt the biles 1 in a collegiate meet. And that's a double layout with a half twist. So maybe we'll see it later in season.
She did try it. First meet of the year. Didn't go as well as she had hoped, but we are told they're still working on it. Should expect to see it. You've done the biles, haven't you?
I have, and I've also competed it once. Not in college. It's a hard skill. Wow, legs glued together throughout that entire tumbling sequence. Great routine for Bree Clark.
Razzle dazzle, never gonna stop. Can Bree Clark get them back on top? That was good.
She just might. Double layout, legs together. See, just a little bit too much power. Front layout, front full, punch front, beautiful.
Needed that one. One more to go for the Clemson Tigers on floor. Julie Noer, a 9.75 for that Beamer team. They will now have to count a score in the 9.7s. Reagan McBride now a lot of pressure in this routine, anchoring this Tar Heels beam lineup.
Side aerial, back handspring step out. That is a difficult series. You're doing a side aerial with no hands, going straight into a back handspring step out. Oh. She was just a little off there, but nice front toss.
North Carolina, they will not count this score. This is going to be their lowest score of the rotation, so they will count 2 scores in the 9.7.
Side aerial, 1.5.
Unfortunate mistake, and it happens right at a time where Bree Clark, she just crushed one into the left field seats with a 9.95. That is a career high score for her. North Carolina's half-tenth lead feels like it is going to turn into a deficit here, depending on what Eve Jackson does. Keep in mind, Eve Jackson not feeling great this week, and I think if you're under the weather at all, is this not an event where it can really show, potentially?
Absolutely, John. Floor is hard to get through in general, so if you're not feeling so well, it's just an added. This is a fun routine.
Jackson needs a 9.775 to take the lead back from North Carolina for the Clemson Tigers.
Oh,
ouch.
Just a little came up short there. We call that an ankle stinger.
Oh, I tell you what, I've been there, and not a great feeling.
On those big passes like that, that was a full twisting double back. You've got to finish that back handspring. Nice leaps. Front through to double tuck, no problems there.
Unfortunate first pass on what's normally a dynamic full out, they call it. Unfortunately, not tonight.
Right there. She just didn't quite get the height off the floor from her back handspring. Front through to double tuck, last pass, no problems.
So unfortunate finish. It was a good rotation. Yes, they did have that 9-6-7-5, but all the other scores, very good scores for Clemson. Now they will have to count that 9-6-7-5, as we mentioned. North Carolina, they also finished with a miss on the beam rotation. So both teams exchanging mistakes here at the end of this third rotation, and not good for them, but great for us because we have got a tight competition as we head into the fourth rotation. Looks like less than 1/10 of a point separating these two teams. We're going to talk more about the ACC when we come back, and we got some newcomers in the house.
I mean, to add another Power 4, I guess now, and to be able to compete for an actual conference championship, it's big time.
The first year of ACC gymnastics was incredible. Stanford and Cal joining, I think, is such an incredible opportunity for the ACC itself. There are two such dynamic and impactful teams who have achieved a lot of success, so I think that will really motivate the other 4 teams in the ACC this year.
The first year being in the ACC was cool because it's also a start of a new conference as well. And coming from the Mountain Rim Conference, it was very different, but the level and the standard is higher in the ACC, so it's really cool.
So Trinity, road trips just got a whole lot longer in the ACC as we see where these teams are ranked. And Cal and Stanford, the newcomers up there at the top, certainly raising the level of gymnastics in this conference.
Yes, absolutely. Everyone always talks about the SEC, but there are other. ACC is incredible, and the two teams that just came in, Cal and Stanford, have done some great things in their respective conferences. And now Maya Lazan, one of the top all-arounders in the nation, has been a force for the Cal Bears. Friday night, she became the first Bear in program history to earn a perfect 10 on 3 events with this perfect floor routine.
Yeah, the Cal Bears, a formidable program. They were in the NCAA finals. Might be tagged the greatest team now to have never won a national championship. They're in that conversation at least. There is the perfect 10. 10s have not been as plentiful this year, but here are your perfect 10s so far. We're coming into the middle of February. There's only been 5. Trinity got 5 10s before breakfast every day. We've only had 5 this whole season. How about that, though? Morgan Price, the first 10 in HBCU history. That's cool.
So cool. And during Black History Month, nonetheless.
Jordan Childs, Olympic medalist, Olympic champion. She's already got 2 this season. Well, we are not done here. Quinn Cool, can she be cool on the beam? Gonna need to be. Over on floor exercise, Kaya Forbes and the Tar Heels try to close it out and get the W. We are through 3 rotations here in Carmichael Arena. The home team, they trailed by 4 tenths after 1 rotation, but they held the lead after 2, and they still hold it after 3, but it's only .075 separating these two teams. Eve Jackson for Clemson finished that floor rotation with a 9.175. Reagan McBride for North Carolina, a 9.125. So unfortunately, a couple mistakes to end those rotations. I'm John Rotherford, joined by one of the greatest ever, Trinity Thomas. Trinity, you said it in the open. This one could come down right to the very end, and so far, it's certainly looking that way.
Yes, like we said, even matchup. They both had mistakes at the end of each rotation. Now they switch. And we'll see what Clemson can do on beam and UNC can do on floor.
Ending on beam. I don't think I'd like to start on beam. I don't think I'd like to do beam in the middle. I don't think I'd like it at the end. But when the meat is on the line, how hard is it to do this event? And here's Lily Lippett, as you mentioned that.
Yes, beam is very difficult to do anyways. And to do it in crunch time, very impressive if they can pull this off. Front aerial, back swing down.
Hitting beam with the meat on the line. It's the 65-yard field goal to win it. with 2 seconds on the clock. It is a pressure situation.
A little slow on these connections. We'll see what the judges do with that. Nice full turn. Just the dismount. Unique dismount. Gainer front full. Another great routine for Lily Lippett. Let's see this dismount. Gainer front full. Very difficult. She sticks it.
On a patch of glue, Lily gets things started. Such an important first routine. Again, you have to count 5 scores, so on beam especially, as you hit, that confidence certainly grows. The margin of error gets a little bit bigger. Jessica Naranjo now on floor exercise, leading things off for the Tar Heels. Going to try to keep pace with that Lily Lippett beam routine. It was a good one. Going to have to be good here.
Round off handspring double pike. She has worked hard on the performance factor of her floor routine. It's more than just the leaps and the tumbling. It's also showing off that floor routine, and she's doing a great job. Front layout, front full. Nice jumps. That was a great lead-off floor routine as well. Switch half, wolf full. Look at how her chest was straight to her leg. That's exactly what they're looking for in that wolf full.
Had to be good for Naranjo, and it was, because Lily Lippett gets a season high score of a 9.825. Bree Clark now, second gymnast to go.
Front tuck. Most gymnasts do that from a run. So imagine how difficult it is to do it from standing. Back handspring, layout step out, solid. Switch leap, straddle quarter. Front 1.5, gets the stick. Chest was a little low on the landing, but she fought for that landing.
Well done from Bree Clark. Here's that front tuck.
So impressive, standing front tuck. No problems there for her. Front 1.5, gets the stick. Chest just a little low on that landing. Great beam routine for Bree Clark.
So in a pressure situation, through 2 on beam, Clemson has delivered. Gwen Fink now takes to the beam. Naranjo a 9.85. That is a career high score for her, and what an opportune time to get it.
Double pike, little bit big on that lunge. Wow, 2.5. Switch ring. One and a half front layout. That was a 3-pass floor routine, John. We don't see too many of those anymore.
They've gone the way of the dodo bird, Trinity.
That was a solid floor routine. Let's watch this second pass again. Round off handspring, 2.5 twists. A little overdone. She handles it perfectly. 1.5 to front layout. Very nice.
Goes a hit. She got a smile on her face. And they needed it. A pair of 9.825s over on the other side of the gym for Clemson. So a good start there. Gwen Fink for North Carolina trying to keep pace as Danica Nielsen now is on the beam. Just a freshman from Gilbert, Arizona. Freshman in a pressure spot.
Triple series, back handspring, layout step out. Another tough series. Anytime there's 3 skills in a row, just know it makes it extra difficult. The beam's only 4 inches wide, so anytime you add an extra skill.
She was digging her toes in a little bit on that last skill to stay on.
I feel like you always have to fight to stay on the beam. Wow, round off 1.5. Stuck landing for the freshman.
You said it, the freshman delivers. Amy Smith has got to love that. You put your freshmen, your underclassmen really in pressure spots during the regular season. That's the type of thing that pays off down the road.
Yes. She did a great job. Fought for every skill. Round off 1.5, gets that stuck landing at the end. The coach loves it.
From one freshman to another, JoJo Valahovic now on floor exercise. Anna Durante talks about her and just says one word: tremendous. She is a fantastic freshman for this Tar Heel club, and she's got to be fantastic here. Good scores so far. Gwen Fink a 9.8, but they've got to keep that momentum going. The Tigers are coming on beam.
She's going to open with a big E pass, full twisting double back. Wow.
Saw that power on vault with that big Yurchenko 1.5 she had in the first rotation. And here she is, the end of the meet. Same power, different event.
Yes, she brought it right all over here to the floor. Front through, double tuck. Look at how her knees were perfectly together. Just beautiful. Torjete, full, split, full. That is exactly what the Tar Heels need. Great routine for JoJo. Let's take another look at this first pass. Look at how high she gets up in the air. beautiful. Just a little bit staggered with the legs in the air, but again, we just watched that in slow-mo. Judges see it in regular speed. A lot harder to see those little things.
Beautiful routine. For both of these teams, after 2 gymnasts on each event, they were tied on this event. That is how close it is. Sierra Church now, sophomore from Lincoln, North Carolina, in Everest Gymnastics. Each spot seems like it's bigger than the one before. Danica Nielsen right before her, a 9.8.
Back handspring, layout, step out. Sierra actually earned her first event win last year on this event with a career high 9.925.
Valahovic score a 9.9 for that floor routine, so pressure even mounts more for Church here on beam.
Yes, but she is capable. Side aerial to split jump, that's a tough connection too. She did it perfectly. Love how sharp she finishes everything. She looks confident, she looks calm. Round off 1.5, step forward, solid routine.
What a final rotation we are having. Thursday at midnight Eastern, after our women's basketball triple header, the Nothing But Net crew will break down the night in the ACC with highlights and analysis of every women's game and look ahead to the best matchups on the schedule for the weekend. We've got you covered all season right here on the ACC Network and the app. Stay up late for that one, it'll be worth it. Kaya Forbes now on the floor exercise for North Carolina. We just said a career high. Valahovic with that 9.9. They have a 1/10 advantage to the Tar Heels within this rotation so far. 3 gymnasts on each event so far. 1/10 advantage for North Carolina. Remember, they had a .075 lead coming into this 4th and final rotation.
We're gonna see another big opening pass. Full in, wow. Absolutely phenomenal. Front layout, front full, great control on that landing there. Tour-jeté full, straddle full.
We've seen a lot of great gymnastics tonight, but I don't think anyone makes gymnastics look easier than Kaya Forbes does. She just, so we use the floaty word so many times, but she really epitomizes that.
Wow. This is gonna be a good score for UNC. And the crowd loves it. That was a great routine for Kaya Forbes.
And a big moment in this competition because over on beam, it went 9.8 for Nielsen, 9.775 for Church.
Wow, huge full in. Flying high on her double tuck, last pass.
And while that 9.8 and that 9.775 for Clemson over on the floor exercise for North Carolina, Valahovic, we mentioned a 9.9, and Forbes just did that, which is going to be a big number as well. So could this be the moment of the meet? Kylan McCrite feels like she has got to absolutely be perfect here.
Handspring, layout, step out.
The cheers in the background are for Kaya Forbes and a career high score of a 9.925. Are the Tar Heels pulling away?
full. That is difficult. She did it literally with, I think, almost no deduction.
Oh, and you cannot have that.
So that was a broken connection there. So she may have to add something, or she may not start from a 10 if she needs that connection. Gainer full, slight step forward.
So in a spot Clemson, that was a good routine and a good fight, but they needed great. They needed, that might have been a double, they needed a home run. And they will very likely have to count that 9.775, and it's a moment when, it's a bad moment to count a 9.775 because North Carolina on floor has 3 scores that are career highs, 1 that's a season high, and they have 2 yet to go. Remember, they can drop the low. So with 2 gymnasts yet to go, really it feels like Trinity, they just need 1 good hit, and this meet's gonna be theirs.
Yes, absolutely.
Julie Noer here in the 5 spot.
So she opens up with another E-tumbling pass, a full in, and she learned this during the offseason. I can't tell. Looks like she's been doing it for a long time. That was great. Front handspring, front full, front layout. Her teammates love that.
When you are feeling it, you are feeling it. And the Tar Heels are on a roll.
She just learned this pass. Huge full in. Wow. You wouldn't know.
Showing it off at the end. I've just been told by my crack statistician, Greg Campbell, he knows all, tells me a 9.7 from Noer will get Carolina the win. It feels like that is not going to be a problem for that Florida team. Quinn Cool, nonetheless, she's got to go here. Trying to still finish on a strong note because McCrite, a 9.35. Don't want to count that. Still, scores matter as much as wins and losses, maybe even more than wins and losses here in women's gymnastics, so want to finish strong.
Triple series. Back handspring, loud step out a little off there. Switch leap tuck 3/4. A little off from that too. We'll see what the judges do. Round off, tuck 1.5. Big hop on that ending.
So not the way Amy Smith and the Clemson Tigers wanted to finish this rotation. It looked like it was going to be a nail biter, but the Tigers flinched first. And this meet is going to be won by the Tar Heels. That Julie Noer 9.9 is the 5th score for the Tar Heels on floor. That is either a season or a career high score just in this rotation. And here is Bella Miller. We call this a victory lap.
Front through, double tuck, nice. Switch ring. Whoa. Switch half. Whoop full. It's a lot of bonus right there. Double pike. The crowd loves it. She loves it too. Switch half with the ring. What a routine to finish the night for UNC.
You said it, Trinity. What a finish.
Double pike. She should be happy about that. Great routine.
Wow, what an exclamation point the Tar Heels put on this last rotation. Coach Dana Durante should be smiling. It is going to be a season-high score, and by a lot for the Tar Heels. Exactly what they needed at this point of the season. Fantastic showing for the home team. We're going to finish things up when we come back. Welcome back to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. I tell you what, one of the most beautiful college campuses I have ever set foot on. Put it on the bucket list, come by and visit it. And what else was beautiful is this floor rotation for North Carolina, which got them the win, .775, the margin of victory. And it did not feel like that is how this meet was gonna go, Trinity. It felt like it was gonna come back down to that last landing, but this floor rotation, it was an exclamation point by the Tar Heels.
It really was. Floor routine after floor routine after floor routine, they hit tremendously. Huge tumbling. So many E passes we saw. Great landings, and they played with the crowd. How clean.
When you're feeling it, it's like a three-point shooter that can't miss, right? You just enjoy your time out there.
Absolutely. Floor is personally my favorite event, and that was a fun floor rotation to watch.
That floor score, 49.425 for Carolina, their highest on floor since 2019, and here are the athletes that did it. Great numbers across the board. Every one of the scores in that rotation was either a season high or a career high. Something to build on for North Carolina?
Yes, absolutely. And I love the E passes too. I think they had 3 huge full ins. They were spectacular.
Clemson, on the other hand, they look great. Really, it came down to the last 3 beam routines they had trouble, but they've got some bright spots as well.
Yes, they did a great job today. Like we said, it's hard to end on beam. And what I liked about Clemson is they did not give up. They fought for every single skill, and that's all you can do.
Clemson was flirting with that 196. They ended up with a 195.8, one of their higher scores of the season. As we mentioned, North Carolina, a 196.575. Their previous high didn't even break a 196. They crushed it, and certainly something Dana Durante is going to want to build on. But a lot of great gymnastics in the ACC, and we're going to see more in the years to come.
Yes, we are. And
Cal and Stanford coming into the conference, 2 teams that were in the NCAA championships. Feels like rising tides raises all ships.
Yes, absolutely. I can't wait to see where the ACC goes in the years to come.
So a fun one here in Chapel Hill. The home team, North Carolina Tar Heels, they get the win. Great rivalry, Clemson and North Carolina here in the ACC in the sport of gymnastics. Congratulations to the home team. They get the win with a big number, a season-high score as well. For Trinity Thomas, it was a pleasure, Trinity. So much fun working with you. I am John Roethlisberger. So long from North Carolina. Go spread some joy, people.